Welcome to Madrid. Adorable child, new friends, medieval festival, weekend trips, soccer, música, comida, cultura, el rastro, partido, fiesta. What a month it has been.
My baby showed me love.
Pump the brakes. Hi, I'm Nicholas, and this is my Madrid workaway story. In the summer of 2022, I started my gap year, and traveling was something I really wanted to do. I wanted to discover new cultures, new languages, people, foods, behaviors. I wanted my perspective widened. Enter workaway. I messaged different hosts and eventually found a good match where my responsibilities would include play with the child, take him to school, pick him up, help him with his English, and it was in Madrid, an icon of a city that I knew I'd have plenty of opportunities to discover in. At the end of August, I landed. My host family made me feel comfortable from the beginning. Emotionally, though, I was feeling a little bit anxious. Things were just real for the first time. But not too long after that, I decided I had a month, so let's make the most of it. The next day, I took to the streets in my free time and let life happen. In the city center, I walked around with no objective or plan. A little later that day, the craziest thing happened. While watching a new episode of Money Heist get filmed, I started talking with a couple other people also watching. One of them actually went to my alma mater, Ohio State. The two of them were studying abroad in Madrid. I had a couple new friends. The first week went on, and I bonded with my child. Meet Miguel. On Friday, my new friends invited me to meet their other student friends, and that was a fun night. The weekend came and things kept rolling. My family was going to the Avila Medieval Festival. Let me tell you, this annual event is wow. 15 seconds short, here we go. Hit it. I thought, if I could do at least one interesting thing a day in my free time, that'd be great. So this week, I got sushi with a couple of my new friends, visited the Retiro Park for the first time, Museo Naval, the Spanish Navy Museum, and El Prado, the home of your favorite paintings. That day, I also went to a cafe across the street where I met a kind gentleman, Joaquim. He told me old stories of his life in Madrid, such as the time when he got to chauffeur the Prime Minister of Spain. This was one of the moments where I most regretted my Spanish level. I so wished I could have better understood him. Let's talk about soccer, or football. I love it. My house was near a field, so one day I went down and asked if there were any groups I could join. And there were. Thursday, I played with one of them. The weekend itinerary was fun. Saturday, I visited Segovia, a historic small city outside of Madrid. And in the evening, made it back for an Atletico Madrid game. Sunday, the Reina Sofia. Picasso, anyone? And soccer in the evening. At this point, Miguel and I were buds. We had fun playing, and drop-off pickups generally went pretty smooth. Things got a little bit more difficult when he ran out of Lightning McQueen underwear. Woody and Buzz just weren't the same. On Monday, one of my friends invited me to the International Weekly Madrid party, and on Tuesday, my other friend invited me to their house for a potluck. The next morning, I went to volunteer with the World's Central Kitchen, and get this, I ran into Tanya, someone I'd met the day before at my friend's potluck. The next day, lunch with a distant family friend. Get this, my father's friend's wife's best friend from childhood. Man, they were all gems, and it was so awesome to meet them. That weekend, Salamanca, a gorgeous small city. However, I'll pause for a moment because this was a reflective weekend. It was one of the first moments on my trip so far that I remember feeling pretty lonely. Salamanca's got a large student population, and seeing all of them bustle around in their groups felt kind of isolating, especially after spending a lot of time with my new friends this week. It made me appreciate them all even more. On social media, solo travel is quite glamorized, and that's because it can be amazing and full of surprises, but it's just not the full picture. There are going to be moments when you aren't feeling your best and wish you had someone. Anyway, just wanted to share that. On Sundays every week, there is a huge market in La Latina neighborhood. Even if you don't like shopping or thrifting, it is still a fun experience. Stay away if you don't like people though, because it is packed. I went to Retiro again, nothing like Blue's Clues in the gym, and I visited St. Louis University, Madrid, per my friend's request back home. And more soccer. These guys were awesome. Had a blast at Maddie and Kelson's birthday party. Had some bailando, cantando. Estos son las mejores. Not much sleep that night, and back with the World Central Kitchen the next day. My last day trip was to Toledo. A lunch with a stranger, sightseeing, wedding crashing, and sunset viewing. In my last few days, I did some things that I hadn't yet that I've been wanting to, like Tempo de Debod, and against my host's wishes, a bullfight. Maddie had another potluck, the discotecas for the last time. Teatro Capital brings out these performers sometimes. Columbus needs to get a club like this. And other than that, enjoying my family for the last time. I am so thankful for this family. The au pairing was a helpful experience for me, and they were just all great to me. This workaway adventure really gave me memories for a lifetime. Solo travel can be intimidating, and it isn't always perfect, as I mentioned, but it was still a formative time. Experiences like this tend to come together in a really special way. If you're considering a similar adventure, well, I'd recommend, because I discovered and I grew. Navigating public transportation in the city and on the weekend trips was a learning experience. Bonding with a new family, that was special. Trying so many different foods, fascinating. During my friend's potluck, when you're in a room with people from Germany, France, Ukraine, Spain, US, it's so unique. After visiting the art museums, even my appreciation for art history increased. Even if you don't end up traveling, one of the lessons I took from this trip is just how much can happen in a short amount of time. Anywhere we are, there are people to meet, relationships to develop, and experiences to be had. It started as a solo trip, but of course, a lot of the people along the way helped make it real special. And Spain is pretty awesome by itself. Vale. Muchas gracias, everyone. Until next time, adios.